Hi guys, welcome. I just thought, good morning. It's a Saturday, the 12th of April, 2025. I just thought let me, come live for a little bit and just maybe try and bring together some of the issues that we touched on yesterday. I was live yesterday from Sentin. I just wanted to give some of my, student mentees. I have a few sort of people who have raised their hands and said, you know what, we want to learn, we see you do these things, we don't really understand. We want someone who, understand and who works in the environment, the financial markets, to kind of like bring it down and break it up for us. And yeah, so we just thought, you know what, sharing is caring, so let's include the wider community because people are interested in these topics, and there is really nothing wrong with educating yourself. So what you saw yesterday, we came live from, I was in Sentin. That's where I work. My office is located in Sentin. I'm coming live from my Joburg office today. But it was to give a feel, what a trading environment feels and looks like. So if you are ever to find yourself at the Johannesburg Stock Exchange, that is exactly the feel, the noise, the shouting. You could have, already feel, this is a different place altogether. So I hope you sort of like got that little bit of understanding what the workings and the environment feels and looks like. But what I thought I needed to do just today to sort of bring it together and embed the information that we wanted to sort of convey. In the financial market space, right, there are different markets, different sort of desk that looks at different type of sectors, industries, and instruments that are traded. The key being, we have what we call your capital market. Is a very, very important component of the stock market, the financial market. The capital market is the market where they trade, number one, your bonds and your stocks. What are stocks? Stocks are your shares. So you want to buy shares to any of the companies that are listed on the JSE, you are interacting with the stock market. If the government want to raise funding for a project, call it a Gautrain, they may raise a bond through National Treasury, and that is where they will go on the market and they say, yes, our bond instrument, and this is how we want you to price it, and the bond instrument will be running for a period of time. So bond instruments generally run for years and years, so not less than 12 months, let me say. That is the instruments that are traded under the capital market. The money market is a short-term market for short-term investment and short-term trade, and as well as short-term equity. You want to take a loan, anything short-term in financial markets. You will have like any type of transaction that is at least going to run for a period of 12 months. So that's a short-term trade transaction. There is a market called the commodity market. Commodity market, we're talking about tangible stuff. Tangible stuff. What are tangible stuff in the commodity market? We have what we call soft commodities, and we have what we also call hard commodities. Your soft commodities will be mainly your agricultural products. So wheat, maize, corn, flour, coffee, rice, all these products are traded in the stock market or financial markets, but they are traded under the soft commodity space. And the hard commodity is a desk that would look at trading things like your minerals, your gold, your palladium, your platinum, your zinc, precious metals, all these, high value mineral products. They are traded under the commodity market. Another market you should familiarize yourself with is the market that we call the Forex market. Very, very popular market. That market looks at Forex, foreign exchange, foreign exchange transaction. Flow of goods would be financed through foreign exchange. Exchange of currency between countries is a very, very big market. I'll come back to this market. There are new markets, not very popular, not very, well distributed in the local sort of space from a regulatory perspective. Your new markets that I would like you to familiarize yourself with, your crypto markets, right? They are also traded on online platforms, but these are just a whole new bunch of, exciting flavors that we see in the financial markets, but not generally well, distributed across the market from a sense of some countries have adopted crypto, some are still sort of like going through legislation. The one other market that is quite interesting, and when I started in banking and finance, I would hear people, and I think it was quite interesting to hear people talking about derivative market. And I know my economics and finance student who are watching, they will say, yeah, derivatives. So if you wanted to speak twang English in finance, you'll just talk about derivatives. But what are derivatives? So this is a market altogether. Derivatives really is a market where futures and options are traded, and I'll try and simplify it. Really, the derivative market is mainly focused on risk transfer, right? Risk transfer. So derivative by definitions are instruments that derives their value from the value of another financial instrument. So physically you cannot sort of touch or point to a derivative, but any sort of product that can be valued and reduced into a financial instrument, that instrument that is traded behind the value of the core instrument, it is called a derivative. In the financial market, maybe say you want to trade at a JSE, you may actually follow an index trackers, your ETFs, all those type of things, where you don't necessarily buy shares directly, but you are buying through an instrument that is linked to an index. Some of these issues can be vastly different from point to point, but I think just to quickly maybe go back to the favorite flavor of most of my followers and students, the foreign exchange market. Just some background on that. Foreign exchange market has been existing for the longest of time through the barter system. 600 BC, people used to exchange goods for goods. I have a sheep, you have a cow, so I will say 2 cows are equals to 10 sheep. So that was the barter system. Then there was later on the gold standard, which brought about the valuation of coins and gold made product. Later on there was a system called the Butterworth system in the 1900s. That system replaced the gold standard, right? And later in around the 1970s, there was an introduction of the FX trading through banks, where people can go into an exchange environment and they can physically buy. And currently it's also done online, where there's a lot of exchange of financial instruments. It doesn't have to be hard cash. So yeah, I think that's about it from breaking down the market. I hope it helps you to understand why such a wide space with a lot of people, because when we talk trading, people just think, oh, forex trading. There's really a lot of things that can be traded. Actually, anything that you can think of is being traded as we speak. We can take advantage of that. What I always prefer and what I always advise people is to get the education, knowledge. That will help us to avoid a lot of things that we see on the internet, getting scammed. Get yourself the knowledge, learn about these things, ask the right people, and I'm sure if you do all of that, you should be fine, and then you should be able to after a period of time, be able to start comprehensively interacting with these issues in a manner that will be, safe and productive. But my core focus are students, people who want to learn, and people who want to build a career around these issues, people who want to go further in life through financial markets, people who want to explore careers, both domestic and international. There's a lot of interest there globally, for people with this set of skills to go and work abroad. Obviously, you need a lot of education, undergraduate. I'll talk about that in, maybe next videos, your type of sort of focus areas. But it is finance. So whether it's an accounting, whether it's a mathematics, whether it's economics, whether it's a business management, but if you are keen and you are interested in studying finance, you should be fine. I really wish you well, and I hope you enjoy this video as well, and I hope it will bring some understanding to the world of financial markets. Thank you.